The expressed views of the guests on this podcast are theirs alone and not necessarily endorsed by the host, TWBC, or any associated sponsor. Conversations that are robust yet balanced, on point and to the point. You are listening to the talk of tournament water skiing. This is the TWBC podcast. And now, here's your host, Tony Lightfoot.
Well, greetings everyone and welcome to this edition of the TWBC podcast. My name is Tony Lightfoot and glad to have the pleasure of your company as ever. Now, I do have to apologize right up front for not producing enough podcast episodes over the last few weeks, but just basically the reason for that is I've been so busy announcing for all of these events, starting with the for the U21 Worlds over in Calgary, which is the last last podcast that I did, and then going over to Austria for the Open Europeans, British Nationals, European Under-21s, and now this, the big daddy of them all, which is the World Championships. And right here on home soil, we get an opportunity to talk once again with a guy who has really personified Italian water skiing for so long, and to that end, I'm pleased to welcome once again right here at Riccetto, in preparation for the World Championships, Mr. Thomas DeGasperi. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, Tony. Thank you for having me.
All right then. So, how's things been going with you, training-wise and preparation for this event? You know, because in some instances in years past, you've kind of struggled a little bit to achieve the fitness level desired to actually ski at the top level in some of these events. It has to be said.
No, I mean it's been pretty good. It's been pretty good seasons. You know, I made podium in Mumba and then another 5 pro events, and then I won the San Gervasio a month or so ago, and then a European Championships a couple of weeks ago, and now we're here. So it's been pretty good this year. So I'm pretty happy. My back is holding up pretty good. I feel healthy. I feel strong, and yeah, I mean, this is the big one, right?
Yeah, a lot of activities you can probably hear in the background with boat going up and down the lake on Lake 2, which is the slalom lake, and then on the main jump arena as well. So a lot of activity. But yeah, you do mention your back, you know, and how that's kind of feeling, you know. So I mean, you have to be kind of careful, you know, the kind of sets that you take, you know, and you know how much you push it, you know, what you want to actually achieve out of each set, you know, being quite structured, huh?
No, actually, when I feel good, which it has actually been pretty good in the last few years. When I ski, I just go full on. I mean, I ski a lot. I try to ski a lot. I still enjoy it a lot. I still have a lot of passion for it. But it's been holding up pretty good. I mean, in Austria, the Europeans, I had a little bit of setback because we practiced and it was very cold. But other than that, my doctor and my physio of the federation put me back straight in line again, and I won my 12th title. So that was pretty good. But in general, you know, my back is good. I learned how to manage it, and but as far as skiing, I skiing a lot. I skiing aggressive. You know, I'm not holding back.
Not holding back. I like that. But I mean, you kind of hinted upon maybe the challenge, the main challenge that you have. You know, it's being able to adapt between warm and cold. You know, in that situation, kind of give us an idea of how you kind of prepare. You know, taking each one into account.
Well, I mean, you know, when it's cold like it was in Austria, you know, like your body's moving slower, you got to be ready, you got to stay warm, and you know, when tournament time comes, you know, you want to be quick, you want to be reactive, you want to be explosive, and yeah, I mean, lots of good warming up and focus, because I think, you know, your biggest driver, it's what your mental status is.
All right, and how supportive is the Italian team structure in that regard? You know, because I mean, they obviously advise you on what needs to be done in certain situations. You know, having the experience and would be behind them in that regard. So, kind of speak to that a little bit.
Well, we're very blessed as far as the team, because we always have, for these kind of events at least, like Europeans and World Championships, we have a team of physios and doctors. And for example, in my situation that happened in Austria, that my back froze up 2 days before the semifinals, you know, my hips were out of alignment, one of my legs were short, and it was completely offset. I got, 25 injections in 2 days and direct into my spine, and it kind of releases the muscle, and it kind of went back to where it was. And so the federation, it's great because it provides us with the tools to, overcome these kind of injuries and in a very short period of time. So I think our federation is doing a great job.
And they obviously take the guesswork out of what you can put into your body as well, because they're very well knowledgeable enough on what you can. Yeah. Yeah,
Lorenzo. I mean, Lorenzo is one of the head doctors for the WADA, which is the Anti-Doping Association. So he knows exactly what to put in, and mostly it's muscle relaxers, but with injection it goes straight to your area that it needed, instead of taking a pill that you might have to take so much grams in order to get like 1 gram there. With injection, it's just direct impact to the area that you need it.
Okay, and you mentioned, despite all of that, you were still able to get your 12th European slalom title. It's obviously very important for you, because a lot of skiers, for one reason or another, have generally skipped the European Championships, which is a shame, because it kind of takes the whole competitive nature, and it kind of diminishes it a little bit. But being able to ski for that long and being able to get that 12th title, and 6 in a row, by the way, must mean an awful lot.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people ask me, and how long can you go? I'm like, sometimes I answer, I'm just getting started. No, jokes aside, but I think what drives me is it's the passion and the love for the sport, and what it became, how it made me a human being. And it's not just a sport. It's my entire life evolves around it, because the ski school in Italy, the ski school in Orlando, testing new skis, try new things. It's always evolving, right? So it's never a still or a stagnant thing. There's always room for improvement. So if my body holds up, I'm gonna keep going.
Okay, yeah, that kind of like that full-blooded Italian
full attack.
Yeah, full attack, absolutely. So we're here at the World Championships here in Italy. Mm-hmm. Obviously, a lot of pressure.
Yes.
Almost too much pressure.
I mean, Receta's been. My first World Championships were here in 2001, and I was just a little kid that they brought on board, because I won the under 21 Europeans a week before, and they kicked somebody out of the team because they saw me. And the day of the finals, I remember that day in Portugal, of the under 21 Europeans, I was last one on the dock, and Tanguy Benet came on the dock, and he was also like the coach of the big team, like the open team, and he says 30 seconds before I got in the water, he's like, if you win this, I'll take you to the world. And there was I didn't have any idea or any hope to come to this world. I was just gonna come here and watch, and so I did, and it took me here. So that was in 2001. That was my first World Championship. So back then it was, any results would have been good for me.
And I mean, let's remember the circumstances around the 2001 World Championships. You know, I mean, the world was in turmoil. I mean, there were even rumblings that because of that, the championship shouldn't go ahead, but it did.
It did. It was only a few weeks after the attack and you know, of 9/11, and I recall that the U.S. team, the U.S. water ski team, was the first U.S. team to leave the country for a sports event after that after that attack. Yeah, there's a lot of pressure now. There's a lot of pressure. There's you know, you have a team behind you, you have a country behind you. There's a lot of expectations, but hopefully, you know, we'll I give my best. You know, I already had a pretty good season so far, so I'm just gonna go out and do what I love and give my best, and hopefully, you know, the results will speak themselves.
And I mean, you see other skiers. I mean, Brando Caruso and Matteo Luzzeri. I mean, the Italian team has some experienced skiers, but then again, you see other competitors, you know, that are not quite so experienced, but they have youth on their side. I mean, you've been around these skiers for quite a few years, and now they're here in the group. I mean, how does this pressure of expectation kind of manifest itself with those skiers, at least from your personal observations?
I think that the general feeling of the team is pretty good, and other skiers too from other countries. But the Worlds is a different beast. You know, it's just not a regular big tournament or pro event. There's a lot of, you know, tension in the air always, and you know, if you can manage those kind of nerves and things will be all right. I know that the scores will be high in every event, in every event this weekend, but the level of, you know, everybody's gonna be nervous, you know, because this is our biggest event. So yeah, just all about managing those emotions, and hopefully the young kids can do it too, you know, and perform at the best.
Now, it's been 24 years since you made your first appearance in the World Championship, and I mean,
that's a long time.
It's yeah. When you put it like that, it most certainly is. But I mean, it's like 24 years. I mean, you mentioned Tanguy came onto the dock. You know, I mean, in the U21 Championships before, and basically said that you would be in the team for the Worlds if you managed to prevail. That was then 24 years, and a lot of things so far as mental preparation and just preparation in general occurs. It's a different beast. It's a different world these days, and in how people approach it from a mental aspect. So, I mean, from that perspective, what have you kind of seen change in those 24 years in terms of in being able to tolerate what's allowed in that respect?
I mean, when I came here for the first time in 2001 for the Worlds, I was skiing against Andy Maple, Chris Parrish, you know, people that you just see on magazines and VHR tapes. You know, for me, I was almost afraid to be on the dock with them. You know, now it's like, I think it changed a little bit, meaning like the young kids are like, yeah, it's cool, but there's a different feeling of nerves, I think. I think the kids are
Do they take it more in their stride or less in their stride?
I think they just focus on themselves, and they're amazing kids nowadays. Like, they're the best that we ever had in this sport. You know, like these young kids, they're coming up. It's just incredible to watch them do what they do, and you know, maybe it's better for them that way. They don't feel the pressure against, you know, the old guard, and they just go out and perform at the best. I believe there's gonna be huge scores, but it's still the Worlds, and every time I go to the Worlds, it's like, oh, this side, like a Travers, is like, oh, the score is gonna be huge, and they are big, but they're not as big as it will be in a pro event 2 weeks before or 2 weeks after.
Mm-hmm.
So there is kind of tension. There is a certain level of, kind of like, hey, I gotta do good, But then comes to the tournament, you gotta get your elbows out and just focus on yourself.
I like that expression, elbows out. Now, obviously you've had a good look, and you know pretty much everyone on the Italian team, But I mean, let me answer this upcoming question myself. If I was to ask you who on the Italian team has impressed you the most within a certain period of time, for me it's someone like Vincenzo Marino.
Yeah.
Who last week in the Euro Under 21s, he was in the final in the men's tricks. He improved enough in tricks to not only take him from 6th place overall to 2nd, but he also secured the team title for Italy with that last gas performance. I mean, he's obviously someone who's impressed you, but kind of, if you were to single out maybe one or two competitors for recognition, like say, hey, listen, you should really take a look at the, him or her or that kind of thing, what would you do? Yeah,
definitely. I mean, Vincenzo, I met him, he came to Florida to ski with me at my ski school back in 2010. Maybe not 10, but anyways, long time ago, like 15 years ago or something. And he was just a young kid, and then he kept coming, and then you see him growing to this dedicated, kid that I kind of see myself in him sometimes, because he's just so into the sport. Like, he's so passionate. Like, he's looking for all his mistakes, like kind of like I do. I watch my videos, and like, I think that pays off. Like, his mental state is great. He can go out there and run a big score in any event. So yeah, I mean, Vincenzo Marino has been a rising star in the Italian team for the last few years, and Florian is an amazing jumper. I watch him now jumping, and he seemed that he found like his groove. And then we have Brando, which is an incredible skier, and so yeah, we have a pretty cool team behind us, and for the future generation that gives hopes to the country to perform at the best.
And among the women competitors as well, because I mean, the way that the official team is structured is you have 6 competitors, and you got to have more than half. You can't have significantly more than half that team being one gender. 4 to 6 or 3 to 3, that kind of stuff. And for my best estimation, a competitor that I'm going to be personally looking out for, and I know it's a little bit self-serving considering what she does for TWBC, but that's going to be Alicia Bagnoli, who's coming off a big time off-season injury, and now just at the right time, with the world's just been round the corner, she is getting back into a groove again.
Yeah, no, that's it was a little concerning that her injury lasted that long. And we were hoping that she would come through the Europeans and the Worlds, but Europeans just for tricking, which is maybe was a good idea for her to not push it for slaloming. But it's great to have her back, as she's an incredible skier, and I know she's very passionate too. And then we have Bea that has been skiing very great this year, and then the young kids,
Vittoria Soraka.
Vittoria, Ariana. So yeah, we have a good team that can do very good. Hopefully, Alice will perform at her best, and my main concern that she's not gonna get hurt again, and but she seems that with certain treatment that she had, that she can perform and hopefully make the finals.
Yes, and she has a wedding in 2 weeks after this as well. So I mean, she's got to make sure that she walks down the aisle without limping too badly.
Yeah, straight. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, you're looking at the action both lakes. You're seeing skiers jump in here and slalom in there. I mean, it's. I mean, the sport is still very much alive and kicking in your respects, but it does have a number of challenges going forward. Now, what in your mind, what are some of the challenges that this sport faces in in not only in these championships but in next championships going forward? I mean, I know it's a more generalized question, you know, but I mean, it's and maybe it should be answered by someone
else, not me.
Someone else,
yes,
but
yeah, I mean, I'm not into the politics of the sport. I mean, I just follow what's.
Do you ever envisage yourself being into the politics of the sport in later down the line?
I don't know, Tony. I don't know. They asked me already if I want to be a coach, and already coaching like at my ski schools, but. Yeah, I mean, no, I'm not into the politics, and whatever happens outside, it's my business, but it's not my business to, you know, to interpret or to give my idea. Whatever happens, we'll follow along, and but other things will come around. You know, it's not just gonna be just bad things. Yeah, I'm happy to see, you know, a big number of skiers coming to Italy for the World Championship. So. This tournament is still running strong, and you can see that the site is perfect. It's ready, and hopefully we'll bring a good competition for all the weekend and the skiers.
All right, let's focus back on you a little bit, because you're a Nordique skier.
Yep.
Recently, recently joined the Team Nordique, and obviously you'll be skiing behind the Nordique towboat here in the World Championships, but you've also got a boat down here, the 2026. How much input did you have in that boat's design?
Design, not much, because when I signed, it's funny, I signed and they said, okay, you gotta be at the factory tomorrow, we gotta show you something.
NDA.
And no, design, not so much, because it was already built. As far as ideas of how it was going to build, it was already done. But I did a lot of testing as far as, you know, engine reactions and gains and zero off, and what kind of prop to use. And so the engineers were sitting in the boat with a computer hooked up to the engine, and we're taking passes. And I said, in my opinion, this feels good. In my opinion, it's running or it's not running. So you have to find a balance on, you know, the gains and the engine reaction. So it was actually really cool, because I never got to do that, and I spent quite a lot of time out of the factory, and it really showed how much they care for the sport and how much they want to progress and make the sport better. So for me, it was eyes opening to have so much attention into, you know, a boat that was going to go out in the market. And I think the feedbacks that we had so far are pretty good. I mean, I had that boat that is sitting right here for a month in Italy in my ski school in Trento, and people were just blown away.
Indeed. Now let's talk about good. I mean,
yep.
the company's been with you for how many years now?
2004, I signed.
2004. So I mean, we're over 20 years now.
Yep.
So and you got your T-gas design that's kind of like locked away in like some corner of the
volcano.
Yeah.
In a safe in a volcano.
Yeah, hollowed out volcano with Dr. Evil guarding it.
Actually, no, because that ski's gonna come in the market pretty soon.
Is this breaking news we're hearing?
I mean, I hope it's going to happen, but
okay, then if it's going to go on the market, then there's going to have to be two models of that ski, because for a left foot forward or a right foot forward ski, you know, it needs to be narrow on one side and wider on the other, right?
Maybe.
Asymmetrical slalom skis back on the markets, and not since the days of the La Pointe asymmetrical, huh?
Maybe. We'll see.
Can you divulge any more information?
Nah. No, but it's not a big deal. Like, I mean, every person that I put on that ski around the world, they bought it. So I said, why don't let people buy it? If they want to try it, they can always return it if they don't like it. You know?
Yeah.
But I think the idea is pretty good, and yeah, every time I go around and people get to try it, they're very happy and impressed. So.
Yeah, and
it's cool that people not at my level, and maybe, you know, kind of like a 15 off, 30 miles an hour, 32 miles an hour, can try to ski and they feel the difference. So that's really great, right?
Is it going to come in green, white, and red?
No.
Nah. No, I mean, you got to. I mean, it's like the T-gas model, and he's as Italian as it gets, you know. Come on.
It does. No, it's been great working with Chris, and he took over the company a few years ago, and the cool thing that I like about Chris is that we get to talk about futures and products and development, and I like to be involved in things. As I said with Nautica, I love to be involved and aware of what's going to happen, and same with Chris is we have a pretty good relationship, and we became pretty good friends. So it's really cool to see this kind of involvement.
Indeed. So we should all be looking out for this new T-Gas slalom ski within about the next few months.
Maybe.
But I mean, let's talk. But I mean, I want to round. No, I want to round off a little bit on that ski, because there was about a season ago you kind of were in a little bit of difficulty with one of the newer skis, the newer versions of that ski that you wanted to try, and to the point where you had to get someone from Florida to ship off that ski back to you at pretty high expense.
Oh yeah.
In order for you to go on,
Yeah, I mean. I had 2 skis that were made for me that I thought that they were pretty good made, but when the water started warming up a little bit and I couldn't make them work, and I came to Europe, and it was pretty depressing to see that I couldn't get as consistent as I wanted to be and get the scores that I wanted to be. So I was like, I came to a point, I was like, screw this, I have to jump on my back on my old ski, and I got somebody to go out at my house, get him inside the house, put it in a box, and ship it overnight. It actually showed up in San Gervasio last year, and
before you were 11.
Well, no, that
would have been the 10th, your 10th title, wouldn't it? Because the one afterwards was in Bordeaux, right?
Correct. So in Bordeaux. So and then at the same time a new one arrived, which is the one that actually I'm riding right now. So
okay.
I spent a few weeks on the old ski, and then I was like, I need to try a new ski, and the new one said that was the numbers were on point, and I'm still riding it. So I got a couple of new ones, but I didn't want to waste time, let's say, trying a new ski before the Worlds, and I know that ski's still working good.
Excellent stuff. Okay. Obviously you're a very busy man, and we better let you go, because I mean I'm figuring that the Italian team is calling for you right now. But anything you'd like to say in conclusion as you get ready to take on the world on your home water?
I mean, thanks to the Federation for organizing this event. I think they're doing an impeccable job as far as organizing it. Hopefully the weather will hold up. It's just hope to do good, and I hope everybody's going to be safe, and we're going to have a good World Championships.
Excellent stuff, and that's great to end off with. This has been Tony Lightfoot with Thomas DeGasperi here at the World Championships for 2025. This has been the latest episode of the TWBC podcast, and until next time, it is ciao for now.
Thank you for listening to the TWBC podcast. Be sure to check out our website at waterskibroadcasting.com. Links to our presence on major social media platforms can be found there, as well as updates to our webcast and this podcast. Duplication or rebroadcasting of this broadcast without written consent of TWBC is prohibited. Subscribe to us on your favorite podcast platform, and be sure to join us next time for the next edition of the TWBC podcast.